Help support our coverage with a free account on Privacy, the service that keeps you protected when shopping online. Get $5 to try it now by using promo code QZZ2J.
Our next guest in the shoot right now is from RoadPrintz Inc. We have Sam Bell, founder and president. How are you doing today, Sam?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing fantastic. Welcome to the show.
Well, thanks very much.
Tell us a little bit about RoadPrintz Inc., what it is, how you guys came to be, and what you do.
We're at the opposite end from a lot of the other people here in the show. We are not consumer end at all.
Oh.
We have basically a honking big robot on the back of a truck. And if you don't mind, I'll put up a little bit of video while I talk about it.
Absolutely.
So what we've got is a big industrial robot on the back of a truck. I don't need that sound. There we go. But we've got a big industrial robot on the back of a truck. What we do is we paint the things which are normally painted using hand stencils. So that's turn arrows, bicycle symbols, that stuff that's on the road that's not playing very well in the background. No.
Yeah. That's okay. No worries.
But what happens is that you have a crew of maybe 5 guys standing in an intersection, stenciling a left turn arrow. And then they stand there on the street like bowling pins waiting to get hit.
Yeah.
We think this is just a really, really bad idea. The reason that I got interested in this is that I'm on my local city's transportation advisory committee.
Okay.
And we were doing a big streetscape project, a couple $1 million to rehab some road. And we wanted to get away from the 4-lane highway model right here in the middle of town.
Sure.
And we thought, well, if we had a shared center turning lane, so you have a lot of opposing left turn arrows all along the center, and then some diagonally striped buffering like you see on my shirt, and then the bike symbols next to each curb. There we go. Sort of show myself there. And we wanted to do that. Everybody signed off on it. There's lots of good public health benefits and good commercial benefits and so on to doing that kind of streetscape. At the last minute, we wound up being told we weren't going to do it. And I said, well, what's the problem? They said, well, it's the paint. And I said, I don't understand. What's the problem? They said, well, the paint's so expensive. And I said, how much is the paint? They said, it's $30,000. I said, this is a $2.1 million project. $30,000 does not somehow strike me as a lot of money. It's a rounding error.
Or something that should stymie a multi-million-dollar project.
Exactly. And they said, well, that's not really the problem. I said, quit talking in riddles. What's going on? They said, well, the problem is we have to repaint it every year. And nobody has found a source for the money to do that $30,000 a year. So I said, well, I don't understand why it's so expensive. And part of the reason turned out to be it's all hand labor.
Yeah.
And I said, well, we need to get the guy with the truck. And they said, what guy, what truck? I said, there's a truck. It paints these diagonal stripes and, and you could print the bike symbol, just like you have a printer at home. It can print any letter of the alphabet. And it doesn't need a stencil. So why should I need a stencil to do that in the middle of the road? Well, you can't do it. I said, oh yeah, I can.
Wow. Incredible.
So that's how we came to this concept.
And like you were saying, I used to know somebody that was on a road crew for that, and he was just the guy that held the slow sign. Like that was his whole job. Like, there's granted a lot of people that have that job, but it is also an extraordinarily time consuming job causes a lot of backups, causes a lot of road shutdowns for a lot of days sometimes.
And it's a very dangerous job. That's the
Yeah.
fifth most dangerous job
Yep.
in the country, is
Yeah.
working on a road crew.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it is a huge safety concern. And when you're talking about that, especially liability wise for a city contractor, insurance wise, it can
Right.
definitely get into a lot of money. So, how long have you guys been around? What all have you guys been doing?
We started about 2 years ago. We were lucky enough to interest a local truck upfitter. This is a guy who takes trucks and turns them into trucks with cranes or trucks with boxes on them.
Anything your a little heart can desire.
Right, exactly. And so we hooked up with him, and we hooked up with Yaskawa Motoman Robotics, which is a major international robot company. They're sort of about the size of General Electric, and they are often called the GE of Japan. They lent us a robot. We put it on the back of this truck, and then we had to teach it all how to paint, do that sort of stuff. So that's what we've been doing. We now have gotten beyond that first truck, which was a proof of concept, and have moved to a second truck, which is an actual prototype. And the prototype is still pre-production, but it's much closer to what we'll actually be selling. And we expect we're going to sell these to contractors and not to consumers.
Yeah. This is not necessarily a general market device.
No,
it's really
not
much
by
more
any
of a
means,
specialized
very much
market.
a specialty.
Yeah. It's definitely a specially contractor market.
That's right.
But man, the uses for this, especially for city use, that kind of stuff, it really does put it into the realm of being able to be under a city program instead of being subcontracted out. So, which saves tons of money over time.
Absolutely. For larger cities, it'll make sense. For small cities, they won't use it often enough to make it worthwhile to invest in their own.
Yeah, but you're a city the size of Austin with a million plus
absolutely.
people. Absolutely.
Austin will need more than one.
Yeah.
So smaller cities may not need their own, or they may need one or two.
Well, it sounds like you've had a pretty quick turnaround, at least from concept to prototype. What do you think your journey from prototype to market is going to be for this?
Well, we were lucky. We got some good funding from the National Science Foundation for a grant, which we've just completed. And let me just crow for 1 second about that. As part of our grant, we were working on camera calibration for machine vision, because it's really important that the robot hand-eye coordination be good so that you wind up with a good quality graphic. And we were able to improve the current state of the art for camera calibration enough that it is now being ported over to stereoscopic vision application on a Da Vinci surgical robot. That's just a spin-off.
Fantastic. And to know that you have that kind of proprietary technology that you're coming out with, to know that you have those kind of patents that you can lean on to further your own research, as well as the brand, the company, everything else, and to underwrite all of this is really fantastic.
Yeah, so we hope to be taking orders for this next summer, or this summer now.
Wow, that is a really quick turnaround, and what great news for a fantastically innovative technology that is incredibly necessary. Like you said, one of the most dangerous jobs out there. So to be able to at least automate some of that is really, really forward thinking. Thank you so much, Sam. Tell everybody where they can go to find out more about RoadPrintz, if they're in a city office anywhere, city planner's office, even a contractor that works with city planners.
Absolutely.
Where can they go to find out more
of course,
about
it's roadprints.com, and that's RoadPrintz with the Z.
Oh, with the Z. Got to make sure to get the brand
because
correct.
The S was taken.
It's amazing how a brand changes when your URL is gone, isn't it?
That's right. So RoadPrintz with a Z.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time. Once again, amazing technology. Enjoy the rest of your digital CES. I hope you have many, many more great meetings to come.
Thanks so much, Chris. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I hope you enjoyed that interview, and if you did, make sure you check out some of the more than 100 interviews we conducted during the virtual CES 2021 coverage. And of course, subscribe here on YouTube, hit the notification bell to learn when we post new content and when we go live.